Hello, hello, Gemini. This reading is for you for love and relationships for the month of April. And this is for anyone who is Gemini sun, moon, or rising sign. So this will be a love and relationship reading, and I'm going to do a stop, start, and continue spread. So what does Gemini need to stop doing in their love relationships? And what does Gemini need to start doing in their love relationships? And what does Gemini need to continue doing in their love relationships? So the first card that I got here is the Strength card in reverse. So this is in the stop position. Now upright, this card is, it's both upright and in reverse position. It is from the major arcana, so that's talking about life's major events and changes. So it's kind of saying like, stop doing this is really important for your love relationship. It's a really important message for right now. So when I look at this upright, it's usually talking about taming the beast within, taming inner passions, inner strength, really guiding what's going on the inside and allowing it to come out in a controlled, maybe fashion. But in the reverse position, it's kind of saying that energy is blocked. And it's also in the stop position, which is telling me that maybe you need to stop blocking your passions. You're an air sign. So air signs are usually in their head. They're usually of the mind. They're analytical. They usually, analyze things. Analyze things. They, about thoughts or about, creating new things, communication wise. But it's kind of saying that maybe you need to kind of listen a little bit more to your inner passions and desires here. Maybe the relationships that you've been in have been great because they stimulate your mind and your thoughts. Maybe they make you laugh and, you are really able to have great conversation. But it's kind of saying that maybe you've been blocking your inner desires and passions. Are you completely open with what you're looking for with your divine partner? Are you really open to your passions? Not necessarily your sexual passions, but like even your creative desires. It seems as though because you're the twins, it's kind of like you're showing up in one way in your relationships, but like there's a whole other side of you that you've kind of suppressed and have not allowed to be fully expressed. So this position, it's saying to maybe stop doing that. And if you really want to have a fully, truly fulfilling relationship, that you're going to have to allow your other side, your other twin to show up, your inner desires to come out, and not to suppress your inner desires. I call this card, if I didn't say it before, taming the beast within. And it's like you've tamed it too much that you haven't even allowed it to step out and shine. It could be that you also are not putting yourself out there. If you're not in a relationship right now, it's kind of like maybe you're communicating over internet with a new potential partner, but you're not fully being yourself. You're like, oh, I don't maybe want to share that, or I won't, I don't want them to know this about me. And you're kind of maybe holding back as some of your intrinsic truths, which, yes, it's great, when you're just chatting with somebody, but if you're actually really, really looking for somebody that is going to complete you or, be really fulfilling in a love relationship, it's actually really best to be completely honest with who you are and allow like all facets of yourself to be open and to shine and to show up, because that is the person that you want people to be attracted to. You want to find your match of someone that sees all of you and is compelled to be with that you in your whole entirety. It's like no longer you should be suppressing like any of your inner desires, emotions, feelings, thoughts. Like you need to step up and be fully yourself, especially if you're looking for a new relationship, because if you're not 100% yourself, you may not be getting into a relationship with people that you actually really want to be with. It might be okay for the beginning, but once all the surface levels kind of come down, you guys both could be just left with someone that you're really not interested in getting to know any further. So to save yourself that headache, I would suggest being really, really open with who you are, what you want, what your desires are, and really show up as your true self, whether you're in a relationship or not, to really attract the person that is more or less meant for you. So the card that I chose in the start position, which is really interesting, is the Five of Wands. So wands are generally about passions, which is really interesting. Passions about fire and desires, and fives are about conflict and struggle. And you can see, like, in these in this image, that people are kind of fighting and they have like their wands. It's kind of like people are not getting their voices heard. They're just like battling each other. And so in terms of like your love relationship and what you need to start doing within it is maybe fighting for what you want. I feel like with this card being in reversed, you may have been taking, a complacent stance in your relationships. You may not be you maybe just like be complying to what your partner wants to do, or you're not just really voicing who you are and what you want. It's like you just are not showing up as your full, true, authentic self. And it's saying to start speaking your truth, speaking your mind, allowing that to drive you, and it's going to drive your relationship as well. And so if you're in a relationship, this may shake things up a little bit, because if you've been taking a little bit of a back seat on how you show up in this relationship, your partner may not necessarily want to see you in a new light or want to treat you any differently. But I think it's really important for you to start demanding what you want, what you desire right now, especially in your love relationship. And if both of these cards are fire cards, so this one and the strength. And it's kind of saying, though, that maybe like you need some more passion. So whether it's like creative passion or if it's actually like sexual passion, like it's you're not being fulfilled in those desires, these like carnal, these like really heat like desires. It's kind of like everything's been really, really, really mundane. I don't want to say flatline, but just kind of boring. So I feel like you have a lot more fire and passion inside of you that needs to start coming out right now, and it may cause a little bit of conflicts in your relationships. And then finally, continue is a lovely card, another major arcana. So your love relationships and how you show up in them is really important right now. But it's saying continue to be the Fool. Now, the Fool is the first card in the major arcana. It's like they're starting off on their journey. You're naive. You have your whole mission ahead of you, your whole adventures. You're about to step off the cliff and step into a new realm of possibilities. It's the zero, so it's kind of talking about like, infinite things. Anything is possible, infinite possibilities. And so it's saying continue to maybe have this outlook on love and relationships. If you have been showing up as kind of complacent and not really putting forth your ideas just to keep peace, or you just kind of you're overwhelmed by other aspects of your life to really be focusing on your love relationships, the Fool card is saying to continue having an open mind, an open heart, and a naivety about relationships, that just because it's been one way up until now doesn't need to be that same way tomorrow. Everything can change in an instant. There's infinite possibilities in your life. You can make one little decision that's going to change completely the trajectory of your life. And so this card is saying continue to be open to the possibility that anything can happen, and maybe not allow your past maybe negative experiences in relationship to dictate your future relationships. Easier said than done, I know, but these limiting beliefs is actually what ends up creating more limiting beliefs in your life. It just creates the same pattern. You're in the same cycle because you believe that that's to be true. So having a positive outlook and really being naive and open-minded for the potential of your future relationships is something that you really need to continue doing, whether you're in a relationship or not, especially if you're not in a relationship, because allowing yourself to be open to all possibilities and that a relationship of your dreams, if that's what you're looking for, is out there for you. Being willing to take a step off the cliff and being completely open and completely vulnerable in a relationship is something that you need to continue doing if you really want to attract or cultivate the love and relationship that you really truly desire. So I hope this reading served you well. Love is really important for you right now, Aries, or sorry, right now, Gemini. And it is the Aries season. So you're going to be influenced also by fire and passion. So don't necessarily get distracted by getting all your creative elements going. You do have a lot of passion going on, but just really, really, really look at how you're going to cultivate it in your, and still stay focused in your love relationships. You're going to be distracted by your passions, which is amazing, and you do need to focus on it because I feel like you've been stifling it for a little while, but make sure that you still focus on cultivating and growing your relationship. So I hope that reading serves you well, and I'll see you next month.